All right, we're going to be talking about copywriting, sales, and scripting and why it's all interrelated. And if you do things right, if you follow this video, you're going to have higher close rates, which means more money in your pocket. So listen up. If you're new to my channel, I help people that have existing businesses get from $30,000 per month to $100,000 per month on social media. Most people treat content and sales as a separate thing. Content is marketing and sales happens on a call. But the reality is totally different. Sales starts long before the call. We have to pre-frame people. We have to warm them up. The decision happens on the sales call, and you can help a person get to that decision by asking the right questions. You shouldn't have to be convincing anybody. Now, if your content is weak, your close rate is going to depend entirely on your mouth, and you're going to burn energy. Things are going to take way too long, and you may even be on the phone or on a sales call with a super unqualified person that is just going to be a time vampire and you don't even want in your program or in your service. What's important to understand here is that content transforms identity. It's not just education. If all of your content is education, you're just wasting your time because you're giving somebody the payoff without them giving you anything in return, and they're going to be thinking, oh, great, I got my transformation. But what we need to do is we need to change their identity. Now, good content, again, doesn't just teach tactics. Great content changes how somebody sees themselves. And you can do that through video or through writing or by asking the right questions through that type of content. For example, people that come to you saying, I'm just researching. You should need to transform the I'm just researching into, hey, is you just researching mean that you're just procrastinating? Are you hiding from something? Shouldn't you be doing something instead? How much research have you been doing? How long have you been stuck doing research? Like, these are all excellent content ideas because they're going to make somebody think prior to getting on the call. So by the time they're ready to talk to you, they've already accepted that they have a real problem and that doing nothing is costly and that change must happen in order for them to give up on the pain that they're experiencing. That's pre-sold identity. That's what we call identity shifting, because we're not trying to persuade, we're not trying to convince, and we're not trying to trick anybody into anything. We're helping them come to their own conclusion. And again, we do that through content. Content pre-handles the objections. And I'm going to show you some specific examples here using my YouTube channel. So many of you guys may know I have a sell on Amazon offer. And what I do with my content is I transform 9-to-5 professionals who have always just worked a regular job that feel like they aren't making enough money. I help them see how they can make money selling on Amazon, and they can see themselves doing it through my content. So one of the ways that I do it is through my content on YouTube. Now, how do people find my YouTube content? Well, they can find it on Instagram. They can find it on LinkedIn. These are short form pieces of content that drive an action. They might get an email once they sign up to one of my opt-ins. And once they're in my email list, they might get sent one of these YouTube videos that help them pre-handle some of the objections or concerns that they may have. So if we look at my YouTube channel here, you can see that, and I'm going to look away from the camera for a second. You can see I have a lot of content to help educate people, but also, transform their identity into the person I need them to become to be able to make a decision on a sales call. People that are possibly worried about making a mistake on Amazon, they can just come to my YouTube channel, and there's going to be a lot of content in here to help them make a decision about whether or not this is the right opportunity for them. It's also going to put at ease some of the fears that they may be feeling unnecessarily. So for example, if we want to talk about common Amazon seller mistakes, they can look at this video here. If they want some step-by-step guides explaining how the business model works, we go right here. I also use this to handle some common objections. So I run a bunch of webinars a few times a month, and one of the most common objections is like, how does Amazon decide who gets to sell the item? So of course, I have a 5-minute video that pre-handles that objection. So during the webinars, we'll actually, when somebody asks that, we'll actually drop that video for them to watch it and then follow our YouTube channel and get more nurtured, because at that point in time, they may not be ready to buy. And that's perfectly fine, because this is the education that's going to get them a little bit closer to where they need to be in order to make a purchase in the future. If somebody doesn't fully understand the business model, there's going to be a video for them here that will explain it to them. I also use these videos in the DMs.
If you've ever wanted to make money on Amazon without touching a single product, this video is for you. I'm going to break down what Amazon FBA is, how it works, and how it changed my life and my family's.
And that's why this works, because it's there to educate and train and then help you avoid objections. And it puts you in a better position during a sales call, because you're not trying to convince somebody about the business model. All you're doing is trying to get them out of their own way during the sales process. You're not trying to sell the idea that this is the right business for them. They're already coming into this knowing that it is. I also talked about testimonials. So I have lots of testimonials of people that are very much like them that are going to be talking about how they were able to succeed in the business, and they'll be able to watch many of these. And of course, during sales calls, we also bring these up and send them specific ones that relate to that type of person. The customer avatar matters. If you're talking to 9 to 5 professionals and you're able to send them a 9 to 5 professional successful outcome in a video testimonial where they're telling everybody how well it went in a public setting, you're going to do really well with that, and it's going to help your conversion rate a lot. If somebody has questions about finances and math and how things are going to work, you can also help them out by sending them one of those videos. In this video, for example, I actually break down how much money you need to run a successful Amazon business. And what I do here is I very subtly also sell the lifestyle of somebody who sells online. I've actually shot this video from our vacation property in Costa Rica. So I actually show some of the visuals and some of the things I'm able to do with my family because I sell online. And again, this is just one of those things that's going to help the person build up to where they need to do this, where they need your offer and they need your service in order to get the things that they've always wanted.
What is up, everyone? This is Pedro from Reseller Engine. I'm coming to you live from Costa Rica. We're spending a few weeks here with my family in our vacation home, and I wanted to do this quick video that explains Amazon math to somebody who's never sold on Amazon so that you have a very clear understanding of how much investment you...
So I'm using this video to educate my prospect on how much money they're actually going to need to run this business. So I'm also using it to push away somebody who's not financially qualified and should not be getting on a sales call with me.
I'm going to be here for a few more weeks. I'm here with my family. We're living in a resort. It's our vacation property. We're able to go to the beach, go to the pool, go surfing, go to volcanoes, do all those fun things that everyone wants to do because we've been growing our Amazon business.
So what we're doing here is we're injecting a bit of a future pace of what your life could be like if you were to buy into our program and do the training and become a successful online retailer. Again, these are the kind of messaging techniques that you need to deploy to bring somebody to a state where they're ready to buy. You also want to be able to handle objections with this content. For example, is selling on Amazon still worth it in 2025 and 2026? This video would address it. I'm also going to put down other opportunities within my space that I don't feel are the best way to go about making money. So for example, if I was in a real estate business and I was all in on Airbnbs, maybe I would want to kind of shit on other business types within real estate, saying that perhaps it's going to tie up money, perhaps it's not going to be the best return on investment, perhaps it's going to take too long to get your money back, or maybe talk about the political risks in certain sectors within the real estate industry or banking risk. Everything I can do to plant the seed that my opportunity is better without me necessarily saying that it's better, it's going to work. Because remember, everything that we say is a lie. Everything that they say is the truth. And what your content is supposed to do is transform them over time. By the time they book a call, the decision should almost already be made. The other way I do it is through my LinkedIn content. And you can see here that I have a very clear headline. So when somebody visits my profile, they know exactly what I do: build a secret online business. I help 9 to 5 employers get richer, start your secret e-commerce business in 30 days, build a $10,000 side income. So that's all very clearly explained. Now, my content, again, it does transformations. And what I do, and we covered this in the copywriting section, is I try to get attention by writing a really good hook. So in this case, a not safe for work notification on my phone got me fired. A single ping ruined me financially. So people are going to want to look at this because it's almost like a train wreck happening, right? So as they read through it, it talks about all of the things that I won't be doing anymore. No more culture fit at the office, no more pizza parties. I've basically lost my $180,000 a year job because I switched my focus completely. And what's going to happen is there's a link here with an invitation to a webinar. And if they click on it, they can register. This is one of the sales funnels that I've built, and there's only 98 spots left. So generally we would sell these out, but you can see that there's a timer on it. It's creating pressure. And this is one of those things that's going to give us a lot of leads. So if I go into my admin module here, and I'll just give you guys a peek, we have really good attribution. So we can figure out how many people came to us for this webinar and what link they came in from. So these are all registrations from today, February 5th. So all of these are active leads, people that are interested in building the business. All of these folks are going to end up on my email list. So you can see there's lots of leads that came in for this event dating all the way back to February 2nd. So probably about 175 prospects that will be showing up to this event. And there's going to be a series of automations retargeting them. Again, sending them these YouTube videos, right? Sending them back to here so that they can get more educated and be more indoctrinated in my world. nailed it. And that's what you need to do. This is what's going to frame somebody to be absolutely ready for you when it's time for them to buy. Once the webinar ends, it's automatically going to go to a replay page where they can enter their information and get the replay. It's also going to let us know that they missed the webinar and they can get content for that as well. So this is all automated. I don't have to do anything once it's all set up. Now, the same content can also be used to push away people we don't want to deal with. We've already talked about this, but there's a lot of people that are just wanting to waste your time. They're tire kickers. They're freaking time vampires. They're just trying to get validation for what something that they believe works or something that they believe doesn't work. Like some people will literally jump on a sales call with you to fight with you and debate you on the merits of your offer just because they tried it or they knew somebody who tried it and it didn't work for them. So when you're dealing with people with such a negative worldview, the best way to get them away from you is to push them away with your content. So again, strong content repel people who want guarantees. You don't want to deal with that. You want to guarantee that they don't come on the call. So make sure you tell them that there are no guarantees. If you don't do it on content, you can do it through DM when they reach out to you. I had somebody reach out to me the other day saying that they don't usually ask for guarantees, but that they wanted one from me because they just couldn't believe that a retail business could work. So of course, knowing me, you know what I told them, right? I'm like, don't even bother applying. Don't even bother entering my webinar. We're going to reject you. Like, this isn't a good fit for you. There's no guarantees in life. At the end of that conversation, he was wanting to register, but I still repelled him because I don't want to deal with him because I already know what it's going to be like to deliver to someone like this. So we also want to get rid of people who are afraid of taking responsibility for themselves. And we want to make sure that we don't get people that are shopping around for the cheapest option. Now, this isn't arrogance. This is just filtering, right? And it's pattern recognition. Like, I've already done this long enough to know who's going to waste my time. And what I want ultimately are shorter calls, better energy in my communities, and a higher close rate, because that's what matters. I want to be able to help the right people, and some people just can't be helped. So remember, content is sales lubricant. It's not the sale itself. So you shouldn't be trying to sell on every piece of content that you have. Content will reduce friction. It's going to lower resistance, and it's going to make the conversation just smoother in general. So instead of explaining from zero, you're clarifying, you're confirming, and you're guiding a decision that's already forming. So it becomes more of like you directing the show. The call becomes, let's see if this fits, instead of trying to convince somebody. Now, can you close somebody from a cold call? Absolutely. I do it all the time, but I've been trained in high ticket sales. So if you check out my high ticket selling section, like, you'll be able to do this too, but it's going to take some practice. Like, I've literally done 2,000 or 3,000 sales calls already, and I've pretty much experienced every variant of buyer that's come on these calls. So I already know what to say and what not to say, and I know how to push the right buttons by asking the right questions. Is it possible? Absolutely. Come into the call and they're already in extreme pain and they've already done all the research, maybe not with you, but it's just a timing thing and they found you at the right time, or they just like you better and they book a call and they close. Or if you're a very experienced closer, you'll be able to do it as well. But that's maybe 3% of the buyer market out there. The rest of people, including myself, like, I need a little bit of exposure. I need some repetition and I need trust over time. And with platforms like LinkedIn, Instagram, YouTube, you can build that trust. Trust comes from time on content. So the more they see you, the more you repeat yourself. I think there's been a study that shows that if somebody has seen you for at least 7 hours, you're going to be able to close them. And people binge watch YouTube. Like, people come on my calls and they talk and they quote me. They said, hey, in this video, you said this, this, and this. And I really believe that, and it really resonates with. Well, duh. I made it so that it would resonate because I'm selling to people that were very much like myself. Content does the warming. YouTube, long form, LinkedIn, repetition, and reinforcement. Same with Instagram. You're nurturing at scale before you even talk. Copywriting and scripting content sells to thousands of people at the same time. And you're not selling your program. You're just selling one small step towards that transformation. You're selling the taking a little bit of action every time until ultimately they're going to be ready for you. Now, why does sales and copywriting work together? Copywriting sells the beliefs. It shapes expectations and it frames the value of your program. What does sales do? Sales diagnoses the fit. It applies the right pressure at the right moment by asking the right questions. Remember, as salespeople, we're there to help. We're not there to pressure, but we're there to find what it is that the person needs and help them understand that they need to be the ones that take accountability and make the decision for themselves. So we're going to help them decide by getting them out of their own way. If you separate these two activities, you're fighting an uphill battle. If you combine them, your close rate is going to climb, and without even trying harder. At some point, you might be able to just sell with a document. I know some very established coaches that can just send you a document And people are paying $60,000 to sign up and they've never had a conversation with a salesperson. But as a relatively unknown coach, consultant, agency, or course creator, you're going to be able to do that. So just to summarize everything, content isn't optional. It's not. It pre-sells, it pre-qualifies, and it pre-handles objections. For me, that's been the biggest unlock. Sales shouldn't be about convincing strangers. It's there to help them finalize a decision that they've already made prior to coming on the call. Simple as that. Now, if you want higher close rates, fix your content, not just your script. If this was useful, please like the video, follow my channel. I'll be breaking down more real case examples of copywriting frameworks and selling and marketing in general. See you on the next one.